Depreciation. Depreciation expense formula. Number 1. Straight line method of depreciation. Cost less salvage value divided by useful life. Number 2. Units of production method of depreciation. Cost less salvage value divided by useful life in units production. Number 3. Double declining balance method of depreciation. Carrying amount times 2 over useful life, or carrying amount times double declining rate. Double declining rate equals 2 divided by useful life. Number 4. SYD method of depreciation expense. Cost less salvage value times remaining useful life divided by SYD. SYD equals n times n plus 1 divided by 2, where n is the useful life in years. Ang depreciation ay isang expense account. Ang depreciation ay pag-allocate ng depreciable cost ng isang asset sa kung ilang buwan or taon ang estimate na magagamit ang isang tangible asset or yung tinatawag na useful life ng tangible asset. Ang depreciation ay applicable sa mga tangible assets gaya ng property, plant, and equipment na kung saan kapag ina-acquire or binibili ito ng business entity ay costly or kumbaga material, malaki ang amount. Ang mga tangible assets na ito ay kadalasang ginagamit sa business operation na kung i-internalize dahil ginagamit ito, naluluma ito at dapat lang na i-allocate ang value nito sa kung ilang buwan or taon ito magagamit. At dapat lamang na yung portion sa isang period na nagamit ito ay ma-expense dahil hindi naman forever na bago at working ang mga tangible assets. Sa bawat paggamit nito ay naluluma ito at nababawasan ang value at darating ang time na i-dispose ng business entity ang mga tangible assets. Yun ang reason kaya dinidepreciate ang mga tangible assets para ma-allocate yung depreciable cost sa kung ilang period magagamit ang mga ito. Depreciable cost. Ito yung cost ng tangible assets nung in-acquire or binili ito ng business entity minus yung residual value or yung disposal value. Kadalasan sa mga tangible assets ay may residual value or salvage value dahil halos lahat ng tangible assets ay nabebenta pa as scrap or sa mga junk shop. Kaya sa process ng depreciation, binabawas ang residual value or salvage value dahil sa bandang huli, ang salvage value ay amount na ine-expect ng business entity na matatanggap in exchange sa pag-dispose sa tangible asset. Para ma-depreciate ang isang tangible assets, kailangan ma-determine ng business entity ang depreciable cost, residual value at useful life ng tangible asset. Minsan sa problem, walang nababanggit na residual value or salvage value. Accepted ito dahil minsan talaga wala ng residual value ang mga tangible assets. Illustration. John's car wash parts and repair business decided to expand. John invested additional $5 million for the growing business. On January 8, 2022, the company bought land for $2 million and a building for $3 million with estimated building life of 10 years. Moreover, the building was estimated to have residual value of 500,000 pesos after 10 years. The company decided to use straight-line method of depreciation. Given, land, 2 million pesos. Building, 3 million pesos. Residual value or salvage value, 500,000 pesos. Straight-line method formula. Straight-line method annual depreciation equals cost less salvage value divided by useful life. Annual depreciation equals 3 million minus 500,000 pesos equals 2,500,000 pesos divided by 10 equals 250,000 pesos. For year 1 up to year 10, same lang na 250,000 ang depreciation dahil sa straight line method, equal or uniform ang expense, meaning constant expense. Computation of straight line depreciation scheduled for 10 years. January 8, 2022, John also added printing services and bought machinery and computer sets for 500,000 pesos. The machinery and computer set was estimated to have an 80,000 residual value, 400,000 total units of production, and useful life of 5 years. The company uses the units of production method of depreciation. The business operation for 5 years results in year 1, 90,000 units, year 2, 85,000 units, year 3, 80,000 units, year 4, 75,000 units, and year 5, 70,000 units. Units of production method formula. Units of production method annual depreciation rate equals cost less salvage value divided by useful life in units produced. Depreciation expense. Depreciation expense equals rate times yearly number of units produced. Same lang ang computation sa units of activity method at units of production method. Papalitan lang yung yearly number of hours ng yearly number of units produced. Computation of units of production depreciation schedule for 5 years. Illustration. On January 8, 2022, bought transportation equipment for 1,500,000 pesos on account with a useful life of 5 years and a residual value of 105,000 pesos. The company uses the double declining balance method of depreciation. Double declining balance method formula. Double declining balance method depreciation rate equals 2 divided by useful life. Depreciation expense equals carrying amount times 2 divided by useful life. Note, sa double declining balance method, hindi na binabawas ang residual or salvage value sa pag-compute ng depreciation. Tatandaan din sa double declining balance method, madalas sa dulo ng depreciation ay hindi magtatali or hindi equal sa residual value ang last period of depreciation, which is accepted naman. Ang practice is that sa last year ng depreciation, ang amount na lang na ina-expense is yung amount para mag-equal yung book value sa expected residual life sa expected residual value ng entity. Computation ng double declining balance depreciation schedule for 5 years. Illustration. On January 8, 2022, the company bought furniture and fixtures for 100,000 pesos on account with a useful life of 5 years and a residual value of 7,000. The company uses the sum of the year method of depreciation. Sa SYD method, ang una na kailangan makuha o ma-compute ay yung SYD, which is yung n times quantity n plus 1 divided by 2, where n is the useful life in years. Pagkatapos makuha yung SYD, saka i-compute yung annual depreciation. Annual depreciation expense is quantity cost less salvage value times quantity remaining useful life divided by SYD. Computation ng SYD depreciation schedule for 5 years. Methods of depreciation. Number 1, straight line method. Number 2, units of activity or units of production method. Number 3, double declining balance method. Number 4, SYD method. Number 5, other methods.